Listen up, because I'm about to give you 10 years of brutally honest business advice in 10 minutes and the marketing playbook that you need to win in 2026. So if you feel frustrated by all the bad bro-tastic advice out there, if you don't vibe with the way most people teach marketing online, if you're exhausted by all the quick hacks and superficial tactics that don't actually get results and definitely do not feel aligned. And if you are so over doing this alone without real support from people who actually get it, and if you want to stand out and get paid this year, you are in the right place, my friends. If you're new around here, welcome. I'm Alex, founder of the Copy Posse, where I teach over 500,000 rad marketers, copywriters, and business owners how to make more money with better messaging. And right here on my channel, I share a brand new video on copywriting, marketing, and branding for your online business every single week. So make sure to subscribe below if you want to stick around, and don't forget to ring that bell to be notified when my next video goes live. Now, let's get into it, because in case you haven't noticed, digital marketing is changing and fast. And I got a lot to say about it, so strap in, because I'm getting a little sassy with this one. We are stepping into a brand new era of marketing. One where the people who are genuinely connected to their work, no, not the loudest, not the flashiest, not the ones who tell you need to 10x your hustle, the ones who love their work are the ones quietly growing their audiences, making more sales, and building businesses that last. And the reason is so freaking simple. Success in 2026 requires mastering two worlds that used to live on complete opposite planets. These are two things that most people used to think were completely different business models, or even at odds with each other. I am talking about mastering, number one, your brand. That is your vision, your voice, your perspective, your personal brand, the content and messaging that draws in your right fit client to you. And I'm talking about number two, your business. This is your offers, your funnels, your systems, your sales, the marketing machinery that actually turns attention into income. Now, for years, these two worlds barely interacted when it came to the online marketing space. But now messaging and marketing, brand and business, honestly, they are completely inseparable, and you need both to be successful in 2026. So let me tell you a story to paint a picture about what I mean by all this. Back in my direct response marketing days, the brand side of this equation was widely ignored by most online business owners and reserved solely for product-based offline businesses like Apple or Pampers or Southwest Airlines. In fact, I wrote for many clients over the years who never even showed their faces, like anywhere. They didn't post photos, content, videos of any kind. Their websites were nothing but squeeze pages and sales pages, and their social media was basically non-existent. In fact, many of them didn't even use their real name in their marketing. Yeah, everything was written under a pseudonym or a pen name. They had no brand to speak of, and absolutely no one knew who they were, which is great, by the way, if you are doing shady stuff. Now, for the record, almost all of my clients were freaking amazing people, but there were a lot of other dubious players in the marketing industry. And that's because back then, all you needed was a good offer and enough cash to buy some traffic, and you could literally make millions of dollars online. I've seen it happen a million times. That means that as long as anyone knew how to sell, they could be very successful online, which was great, but it also meant that the products and services that were being slung all over the internet were usually coming from brands or people who didn't care all that much about their customers or about building a business that actually lasts. In fact, I remember going to marketing events back in the day, and rather than someone asking, hey, what's your business? Or what do you do? Or who do you help? They would simply ask, what is your offer? That is such a strange question to me now, right? But it pointed to this short-term thinking where people just needed something, literally anything, to sell on the internet, and would do just about anything to make that happen because they could stay hidden behind the scenes, behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. And when that offer stopped working, they would just launch a new faceless offer using a pen name and some generic marketing, right? It was around that time, over a decade ago, that I really started noticing this dangerous divide forming in the industry. There were the business owners, the coaches, and the subject matter experts who had products and services they deeply cared about and could genuinely help people. Like, they truly were incredible products and services. And more often than not, these were the people who were building businesses based on real experience, passion, and results. But They just didn't have the marketing skills they needed to get their message out there and have it be seen by the right people. And then there were the marketers, right? The ones who could sell anything, even if they didn't really believe in it. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on marketing. I love marketing. And while there were a lot of great authentic marketers out there, many of them were using manipulative, hypey, and severely outdated tactics that I honestly just didn't vibe with, and I could no longer keep my mouth shut. This unfair imbalance in promotional power became the whole reason I started this YouTube channel. I wanted to help authentic, heart-centered, rad humans take back the internet by teaching them the marketing skills that they needed to stand out and win. And this is what I mean when I say I am here to de-douchify the internet, redefine modern marketing, and build an empathy empire. And guys, let me tell you, this mission is even more relevant now than it was a decade ago. I am fired up. Since I launched the Copy Posse, I have always said that I believe the best marketing combines proven direct response copywriting principles with modern day branding and storytelling. And if you don't believe me, I actually looked at my website 5 years ago on Wayback Machine, and that is exactly what I said. And everything I teach is about bringing these two worlds into balance. They are both so important. So call me a psychic, why don't you? Because the shift I saw coming like 10 years ago is here in a big way. And it has been massively accelerated by AI and the ability for anyone to create anything on the internet in mere seconds. And unfortunately, those douchebags I was talking about earlier, yeah, let's just say they're still around the internet, and now they're douchebags with AI, which is a terrifying thought. Whew. Right? So listen, Posse, we only have two options here, right? We can choose to hide, we can choose to give up, we can choose to throw our hands in the air and say, what's the freaking point, right? Marketing is harder now than it used to be, and that is true. Or we can double down on what makes us human and what our clients and customers are so freaking desperate for and will actually pay a premium for. Now is not the time to hide in your offers and your systems. Those are great, we need those. But if you want to win in 2026, your brand matters just as much as your business does, which is really, really good news for you if you love what you do, if you care about your customers and clients, and if you want to show up more authentically in 2026. In fact, that will make marketing easy. So let's talk about what this means for you and where you should be focusing your efforts this year. If you provide services to your clients one-on-one, you typically have the business side more dialed in than the brand side. Not always, but typically, right? You have an offer, you have a strategy, and you have the systems you need to make sales and land clients. And that is absolutely great. But like many of the copywriters and other service providers I hear from in my community, maybe you avoid showing up online and the idea of building a personal brand makes you kind of cringe a little, or like slam your head into a pillow. I get it, because I used to be you. I was completely anonymous on the internet before 2019. But if you want to transition out of one-to-one work, if you want to build your authority, if you want to get bigger name clients, if you want to raise your rates, if you want to be a sought after expert so that clients come to you and you can start building a team, an agency, or maybe even a community, you need to focus on building your personal brand in 2026. That is your goal. And I'm not saying that you need to be a prolific content creator. Those are two very, very different things. Building a personal brand is simply about being present, approachable, and available when your dream clients come looking. And that, as a bare minimum, is extremely important for service providers in 2026. Now, if you're a content creator already or a community builder and have one-to-many offers, you likely have more of the brand side a bit more dialed in. You're showing up, you're creating, you're building your audience, and that is great. But maybe you're feeling a little bit stagnant and you want to dial in your systems and crystallize your offers and automate your sales so you can grow your business without having to stay on that content hamster wheel. I understand. I've been there too, right? What you need to focus on in 2026 is to scale and optimize your marketing. So where do you fall on this scale? Have you been more focused on building your business behind the scenes or building your brand? Now, here is the brutally honest truth that you need to hear. If you keep living in only one of those two worlds, your growth will hit a wall in 2026. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Businesses that have always only relied on great offers and traffic are struggling struggling right now because they never built a brand people cared about, and trust is at an all-time low right now. And creators who relied only on personality and audience are hitting revenue ceilings because their back end can't support the growth they want. So you need to focus on both of these things to grow in 2026, but I'm telling you, it does not have to be scary or complex or overwhelming. So here's what I want you to do right now as a step one to really figure out your 2026 marketing playbook. Grab a pen or a piece of paper or open a note in your phone. What you're gonna do is you're gonna rate yourself on both sides of the equation out of 10, right? So when it comes to branding and visibility and messaging, where do you fall on a scale of 1 to 10? And when it comes to the business side of things, the offers, the systems, the optimization, the marketing, where do you fall out of 10? What grade would you give yourself? Now, there is no right answer here, right? You might be low on both, or maybe you're high on both, or maybe it's totally lopsided and one's a 0 and one's a 10. Listen, I've been working for myself for 15 years and I'm not even a 10 out of 10 on both sides. I'll be focusing on both of these things in 2026, and you know I'll report right back here with everything I learn along the way. So tell me, what did you score yourself on brand? What did you score yourself on business? Don't be shy. Comment below and let me know. No judgment, no shame. We are all in this together. And remember, you cannot compare yourself to anyone else. We are all on different journeys. We come from different places and we move at different paces. Now, wherever you scored lower, this is where I want you to focus your efforts in 2026. As I heard Chris Williamson say the other day, the real transformation is in the work you are avoiding. Quite often we have that little nudge inside that's telling us, you know what, this is really where I should be focusing my time. This is going to be what moves the needle. But then what do? We focus on what we know. We focus on what feels comfortable. We focus on the thing that's still within the comfort zone of our current business. But if you want to grow in 2026, you have to get a little bit uncomfortable, which means doing the work you've been avoiding, but you know can really move the needle. Even though it will be uncomfortable at first, once you get going, everything else will become easier. And by the way, this brand and business playbook is the foundation of everything we talk about inside my Rain Mastermind. So if you're already a business owner making 6 or 7 figures and you want to scale your marketing, clarify your offers, and build your personal brand in 2026, do not do it alone. Click below or scan this QR code to learn more about Rain and join the waitlist. Applications only open twice a year, and I'd hate for you to miss it. And if this breakdown was helpful for you, no matter what stage of business you're at, give me a thumbs up below, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Until then, I'm Alex. Ciao for now. Before you go, if you like that video, make sure to check out this one next. The rules of Instagram have fundamentally changed. If you are still trying to hack the algo like it's 2022, I hate to tell you this, but you are already losing. Many experts will tell you it's about posting more reels, using better hashtags, or piggybacking on trends. But here's what they are absolutely missing. The biggest social shift that's happening right now isn't about hacks. It isn't about content or tactics. It's about something way more fundamental and way more human.